Do it. Say it.
Hey guys, welcome to this lit podcast.
Loser.
Because we cover a story about fire in this. Anyways, if you're a kid or not an adult, which are pretty much the same thing, you should probably not listen to this podcast because we cover like we're very adult oriented. We talk very adult like and say a lot of curse words and stuff. So if you don't like that stuff, don't listen to this podcast.
All right, you're done. Just start it. Just start. Are you playing that stupid fucking thing you sent me? Fucking idiot.
Hey Derek, yesterday was your birthday.
Yeah, it was. And 10 days ago it was yours. Thank you for bringing that up.
So how was your birthday yesterday?
It was a day, all right, I guess.
You said you went to Disney.
I went to fucking Disney.
Yeah, you went to Disney.
It's too busy still.
Yeah. You were telling me about that. I'm like, why were you going to Disney?
I thought it'd be a good idea, and then as soon as I got there, I realized it was a horrible idea.
Yeah, it's like
Bryce, it was so bad. They ruined the carousel of progress for me.
How?
Because everybody was there. Because the lines were so long for shit.
Yeah.
That people were like, "Fine, we'll go get on the boring thing that goes around slowly." And the music, okay, the first room, the music didn't work. So when the guy starts singing, he's just singing by himself. And no one else in there sings because they're like, we don't want to be here. This is just the only thing that's open. So it's just like somebody singing by themselves. And it looks weird.
Yeah.
That and people kept getting on their phones. So every time something would happen, there'd be it's like going to the movies, except worse because it's a slow movie.
I'm sorry, man. I know how much you love that ride.
I love that ride.
Well,
somebody jumped on that ride recently.
On check the stage?
Yeah, they got on the first scene where the beginning where they have the little birds in the window and stuff like that, and it starts raining. Apparently, the guy, he was either high or something like that, or something was wrong with him, and he wanted to leave. And he's like, well, that's outside, obviously. There's birds over there. So he went that way to go outside.
I just hit my head against my pop filter.
Yep.
Disappointment.
Yeah, there's a video of it online of him, I guess, just like, I can't get out this window, and he just breaks down and like lays on the floor next to the animatronic while it's talking, because it's not a real person, so it just keeps going.
That's real sad.
And it just looks weird.
Yeah.
He ended up breaking a bunch of, not a bunch, but enough stuff that it's like, that's noticeable. That's noticeable.
Yeah.
He broke like part of the curtain for the, if you haven't seen the show, they have like these curtains where they hide like animatronics behind it. He broke part of that.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he's okay. Yeah. It's clearly, he's not just like an asshole. He's actually issues.
I'm not sure what the whole deal was with that.
Well, on that somber note, hey guys, welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to Did You Hear About This? It's a podcast about stories. I'm Bryce.
I'm Derek. We're finally back.
Yeah, we took a week off to gather ourselves for after the holidays. We also had both of our birthdays come up, so we were like, let's just take a week. 2
holidays, 2 birthdays, 1 cold.
1 cold.
Unless you're starting, you said you were getting a headache, so you might be starting a cold.
I had a couple days since you last saw me. It's already gone.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I fought it very quickly.
Mine's isn't, so if you hear me coughing, I apologize for that.
As usual, I have a drink and you don't. I don't know why.
I don't drink. I haven't eaten anything today either, so if I pass out,
dude,
give me a Snickers. I'm not myself.
You're Danny DeVito right now. I need you to be Derek.
Wait a second. No, you don't. If I was Danny DeVito, you'd be way happier right now. If I walked in here and I was literally Danny DeVito, he'd be like, "Oh, this just got a whole lot better."
I remember like, why is Danny DeVito in my house right now?
I'm here to talk about Matilda.
Honestly, I'll talk to him about Matilda for hours. Welcome to our new Matilda podcast.
It's a very short podcast.
So you like Matilda? Yeah. That was our podcast, folks.
Honestly, there's these guys that do I'm not sure if they still do it. This has been a while. Where they would watch a movie every day like the same movie every day and just talk about different things they've noticed in it.
Yeah.
I imagine you could do that with Matilda, just like different scenes where, oh, look at this. If you look way in the back, you can see there's a guy who doesn't belong there, and like this scene over here type of deals. You know.
Hey, Derek.
What's up?
You want to jump into the actual podcast?
Sure. Wait, we're not in there yet?
I haven't started recording yet. You looked.
Honestly, I looked. I was about to say, motherfucker. We've been doing this for a few minutes now.
Oh, God. That was so good. Anyways, we're almost 5 minutes in, so let's start the podcast. Hey, Derek. Did you hear about this?
Probably not.
It's here about Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Can you try and pronounce that again?
Centralia. Centralia. Centralia.
Okay.
I said it right.
Okay.
Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Centralia, Pennsylvania.
It's like Central Alia.
No, but I
Centralia.
imagine
Yeah.
You're going to tell me about it.
Yeah, Centralia, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Alice for giving me the information about this. And I did more research on it after that. But
we got our first actual submission.
Yeah. This is a really, really awesome one, too. I looked this up, and I'm like, whoa, it's a big one. So, buckle in, Derek. Get the metaphorical seatbelt. I know you're sitting in a computer chair. Just air, do it in the air for me. Thanks, man. I want a seatbelt to go near. Okay, so the land that would be Centralia was bought and sold many times before it was officially founded in 1841, with its first name Bull's Head, after its main draw, the tiny village, the Bull's Head Tavern. Which, okay. If you name your city after a tavern, it's a good sign already.
Honestly, it's a good name. I like Bull's Head. That sounds like something out of an old western.
Yeah, because it was in 1841, so it's about where the westerns roughly.
Okay.
Yeah. The land was later bought and renamed to Centraville before laying its final name in 1865 to Centralia. Because there's already a Centraville in the same county. They're like, well, I already started writing "cent" on the sign.
Let's just keep going. We'll figure it out.
Oh, that's fine. The first two coal mines opened in Centralia in 1856.
Okay.
By 1865, it had 5 coal mines and a railroad in order to ship the coal.
That's a lot of coal.
Yeah, it's a lot of coal. It continued to grow when in 1890 it reached the population of 2,761.
Okay.
For that time, that's a lot of people for not New York City in that time. In 1890, Centralia had 7 churches, 7 hotels, 27 saloons, 2 theaters, a bank, a post office, and 14 general grocery stores.
You think they'd have more banks? Honestly,
yeah.
You think there'd be competition for the bank market there?
There's a competition for the church market, apparently.
They don't have to go through the banks. That's why they're their own banks.
Nearly 40 years later, the production of coal had reached its peak in Pennsylvania. In the next several years, coal production declined as many of the miners enlisted in the military to join in the First World War.
Okay.
In 1929, the mining company that now owned all 5 coal mines closed all of them because Wall Street crashed.
That's the Great Depression.
Yes. So then bootleg miners mined in idle mines and taking some of the coal pillars to support the tunnels, causing some collapses. That's important. Remember that later.
Okay. Stuff's collapsing. Gotcha.
Yes. A lot of they took the there's the huge pillars that held up the mine. Just took those.
Yeah.
Like, I want this wood.
Are you going to tell me the building started falling into the ground?
We'll get to it. A large-scale coal mining continued until 1960, when the coal mines went virtually untouched. Okay. Then, 1962, the start, the most important, this entire story. This is all build up.
Okay.
The Centralia Council hired 5 members of the volunteer fire company to clean up the town landfill. So, the firefighters, as they've done in the past...
I think I know where we're going.
They lit the dump on fire. And let it burn for some time. Unlike past years, though, the fire didn't extinguish so easily. An unsealed opening in the pit allowed the fire to enter the coal mines.
Bryce.
And run beneath the town.
This is Silent Hill, isn't it?
I think this was what inspired Inside.
Yeah, I think I remember this story. I love stories that I actually remember when you start
All
talking.
attempts to put out the fire were stopped because when the firefighters went to contain the fire, they run into collapsed tunnels. And they couldn't get to the points where the actual fire was. That was in 1962. 1979.
A huge jump.
That's, that is what?
You said 62 to 79?
That's 17 years.
Yeah.
17 years later, locals become aware of the scale of the issue. When a gas station owner I looked this up, the gas station owner was also the mayor at the time.
It's a small town.
It's a very small town.
There's small towns where goats are in charge somehow.
Yeah, there's one in Alaska where a dog's the mayor.
Yeah.
Currently.
Why not?
The gas station owner was like, I'm going to check my underground gas tanks, like levels, to see if I need it. So he put his dipstick in, pulled it out, and realized, wow, gasoline looks really warm. so you put a thermometer on like a piece of string and put it down there. It was 172 degrees.
Not the ideal temperature for gas.
Correct.
Not the ideal temperature for anything unless you're cooking something.
Yeah, so that was the first major issue. In 1981, that was 2 years later, the big issue happened. A 12-year-old boy named Todd fell into a sinkhole.
Of course it has to be Todd.
The sinkhole was 5 feet wide and 150 feet deep.
Shit, he's dead.
He barely survived because his cousin Eric grabbed him and was able to pull him out, saving his life before he fell in.
Okay.
Steam flew out of that hole.
It was pretty much a geyser.
Yeah,
at that
they
point,
tested it and it found lethal levels of carbon monoxide.
Yep. This is Silent Hill.
Yes. In 1983, the U.S. Congress allotted more than $42 million for relocation efforts for everyone in the town. Nearly all the residents accepted.
I want to be the one person that he's wearing like a gas mask. No, I'm not moving.
I got the numbers for each year. The population in Centralia plummeted to 63 in 1980.
It should have been zero.
Should have been zero. Should have been zero. In 1992, the governor of Pennsylvania invoked eminent domain, which is any governor can do, claiming land as government owned. Okay. They claimed all of it, and he condemned all the buildings. It's like, you can't live here. That was in 1992. During this time, the underground fire spread southbound to the village of Brainsville.
To Burnsville?
Yeah, I knew
it's called Burnsville.
I knew you were going to laugh at that.
Okay.
Burnsville, if you're wondering, was also at the same treatment and was condemned. The last building was demolished in 1996.
Okay.
So everyone left Burnsville. I looked that up too. As of right now, if you visit it today, you'll see one garage.
Wow.
That is like overrun by like
gas.
Vines and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like the nature retook it.
Yeah, it claimed it.
Yeah.
It's not the government's anymore. It's mine. Mother
Yeah.
Earth just comes up and snatches it.
In 2002, the U.S. Postal Service discontinued Centralia's zip code. They claim it's no longer a city.
Gotcha.
And 2009, the remaining residents started mounting a legal effort to reverse eminent domain, claiming it is livable now.
I doubt that. I doubt that very much.
They said the fires moved away.
It doesn't work like that, though. Does it?
I mean, this fire has been going for
decades.
This point is almost 50 years. It started in 1962. It's now 2009.
Oh, you're
this
talking about the
happened.
story.
Yeah, they're like it's livable now.
We're good. They got all their gas masks on. They got sores and burns from just toxic stuff on them. Like, we're good.
And
looks like a post-apocalyptic world. Something that'll fall out.
In 2013, the remaining residents won. They won the claim, and they weren't forced to get out of their homes. That was in 2013.
It's been.
I have the population numbers for 2010 and 2017.
Okay.
2010, there were 10.
One for each year. Gotcha.
The youngest person was in their 20s. There's one person under the age of 29 in 2010.
Wow.
The oldest person was in their 80s. The average age was like 63.
Shit.
Yeah, everyone that was still there was just old.
Yeah, they didn't want to go anywhere.
Yeah. In 2017, the estimated population was 5.
They're dying off. That's why.
Yeah, because all I said in 2010, the oldest person was in their 80s.
So that means probably soon enough, there'll be only one person in there to be the guy who was in his 20s.
Yeah.
Just still living there.
Yeah, so...
The worst part
technically, through all this research, everything looked up, they still haven't put out this fire.
Yeah, it's coal underground in waste.
Hey, man, you want to get some gas mask and go see an underground fire?
Bryce, there's a few things I've always wanted to do in my life.
Yeah.
One of them, because this is the town that inspired Silent Hill,
Yeah.
if you do game history, which I'm a nerd, so I do.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to visit that town.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to go to Chernobyl.
Okay, one of those, just by getting too close is going to hurt you.
Nah, you can do tours of Chernobyl. You can't stay very long.
Yeah,
you can't stay long at all. I think most is 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah,
and you have to wear a suit.
God.
And you got to really make sure you don't go to the wrong fucking spot. But, they do tours of Chernobyl.
I remember there being a very short documentary I saw. There was the animals of Chernobyl.
And how they survive there somehow. It's weird, right?
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm like, people are getting their dogs out of there now.
Yeah.
Still getting people dogs out. It's like, they've been there for this long. And they're fine.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Nature finds a way. Humans are too squishy. That's our problem. You want to know why? Because we ran away.
Yeah.
The animals didn't have a fucking choice. Yeah. They were left. But they didn't get to run away. They had to deal with it.
Yeah, so I'm really glad you kind of knew this story. Because this one is definitely a fire burning for 60 years.
I'm going to know about a fire burning for 60 years.
Yeah. And the fact that it's caused 2 different cities to completely shut down.
To be fair, the second one was asking for it.
The Brainsville?
Brainsville was asking for it.
But it wasn't spelled burn. It was Byrne.
No excuse. Pronunciations. Burnsville.
Oh, God. And it was a village, too. It wasn't that big. Because it didn't get a chance because it was burned down. Oh, God.
Burn with a B-Y.
God. So, yeah,
Burns was burned away.
That's all I got on Centralia. It's...
the worst part about it, as soon as you said there's five coal mines, I went, why do I remember something about a whole bunch of coal mines lighting on fire? And then you start, it's they're taking the pillars out. I'm like, oh, fuck, I know where this is going. Because it gets trapped and no one can take the damn fire away. Well, you know how much coal burns?
Yeah.
People use it for their stoves. You only have to put for their grills. Sorry. So you only got to put a few of them in there. Imagine piles on top of piles. There's 5 coal mines. Which means there's that they found, let alone the stuff they haven't found yet. The coal that was just left there to sit.
Because remember, they didn't shut down because it ran out.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut down because the
financial crash.
Yeah. So it was still there. The bootleg miners are still doing it.
That's a lot of coal.
Yeah.
Honestly, you would think the 20 people, well, not even the 20 people, because as I said, the fire was gone. But before that, the people who refused to leave at that time would have died out just from coal.
Yeah. Carbon monoxide.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why
how are they living?
Which is why they say that's why they got granted it, because they've lived there for so long, they proved that they're fine.
As long as you don't go over on that side of town, you're good.
See what the smog is?
Crosses
Don't cross the smog.
Exactly. No, there's actually, I said Fallout. There's actually a thing like that in Fallout where they had a DLC where it's just a whole island that's covered in fog. Yeah. And if you go into certain parts of the fog, it's radioactive and it kills you.
Yeah.
Where there's always a person who's like, don't go over on that side of town. It's too foggy, and you'd walk in and just pass out. So I imagine how that is. Where it's like you can go across town, but make sure you go wide, not through. If you go through, you die. If you go around, you'll be good.
You know where the Johnsons used to live? Yeah, don't go there.
Yeah, don't go there. It's a bad idea.
I don't know the word used to. It's a geyser now.
No, you gotta wonder. Especially because the fire's still burning.
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, it must be somewhat safe still, because if the fire's still burning and none of the gas stations have blown up yet.
Yeah.
Because of the gas, even if the gas is like, it's old.
I think they might have taken them out.
Did they? Like, did they salvage it and take it out? Because if not, those things are gonna pop.
Because when I was doing research on this, they weren't leaving the buildings; they were tearing down the buildings.
Yeah, I know. Well, but the gas,
where they keep the gas
is underground.
What construction workers? All right, it's unsafe to live in. You guys go in. I'm sorry, what?
Hey, it was a good payday. They got paid a lot of money.
They must have, because otherwise I would know like $10 an hour in my ass.
No, exactly. Nah, well, construction makes more than that.
Yeah,
period. They're insane.
This was like in the 90s.
That and demolition, I imagine they probably did it the easiest way possible. Like, okay, we got about 100 pounds of TNT. Just line it up and blow it down.
But remember, the entire thing was on fire still. They're like, all right, we can't let all that fire escape.
Makes it easier. The buildings are weak. It's like in The Incredibles where they ask Mr. Incredible, like, why don't you just keep knocking walls down? It's like, well, it's on fire. The building's gonna collapse. And it collapsed. They just left it there and let it go on its own.
I'm trying to figure out in Burnsville. Because
Burnsville.
They went and did deconstruction all through that entire town too. Why did they leave the one garage?
They ran out of...
It's out of city limits.
No. Either that, or it was right as the clock hit. Like, okay, we got one last bill. And it looks like it's staying there, too. They didn't want to pay him for the extra day to come knock one building down.
Technically, we took all the houses down.
That's a garage.
Nobody can live in that.
Says you.
It's fine.
Bryce, you can live in a garage. When I first moved down here, me and my family were looking at houses.
Yeah.
There was a house. It was a really nice house. We're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
The one catch was there was a dude who was living in the garage who refused to leave. And they told us that, like, oh, yeah, that's normal. Uh-huh. We're like, so is he going to leave? They're like, well, you'd have to get him out. We're like, what do you mean we have to get him out? You're going to get him the fuck out. If we have to get him out, this is going to be a way bigger issue. You get him out. Why is he here? He's just a guy who lived in the garage at the point and refused to leave.
Jesus.
Safe to say we didn't pick that house.
What?
It seemed like
Why not? It had everything else you're looking for, like toilets. God, it reminds me of the John Mulaney thing. It's like, I know you wanted toilets. I know that was on your list.
Oh, his new show came out.
Yeah, I just still need to watch it.
I haven't watched it yet either. I keep seeing him like promoting it like on talk shows and stuff. I'm like, I gotta sit down and watch it.
I need to watch that, but I'm watching The Witcher right now.
Speaking about stuff on streaming services,
yeah,
you know what I'm upset about?
What?
Yesterday, before I wanted to watch Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction keeps coming on Netflix, and I put it in my queue. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Never get around to it. I get there, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch Pulp Fiction, and it's gone. It's done it twice now, where I'm like, oh, it's not there. Like 2 months ago, I'm like, oh, Pulp Fiction's on Netflix. Queue. 2 months go by. I'll let me sit down and watch. Oh, it's gone. It's like, pick a side.
Stop waiting.
Yeah. It's like a 3-hour movie. I'm not sitting down to watch a 3-hour movie.
Same thing with me and The Irishman. I need to finish it. I watched 2.5 hours of it.
I never started it.
Honestly, the first 2.5 hours were fantastic. I just need to finish it.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, I got to the point where I'm like, it's 4 a.m.
It's hard for me to sit down and watch anything for 3 hours. That's why when like TV shows come out, people go, just binge it. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't sit there and watch the same thing unless it's like, unless I'm committed, like Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that because I've been watching it for so long. Shameless. Been watching it for so long. If it's something that I don't know about, I'm like, I don't want to dedicate these next 3 hours to this if I don't like it.
Yeah, so what I usually do,
because if I start something,
yeah,
I finish it. I've sat down and watched really shitty movies about people who turn into gingerbread men and kill people. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, there's 3 sequels? Fine, we're going to sit down and watch all these now. I'm not stopping.
Clearly, they intended the sequels to happen when they made the first one.
Yeah.
Well, when they make sequels, I need to watch all of them to understand the story.
That's a true thing, too. You want to sit down and watch Gingerbread Man? The first one stars Gary Busey. He gets killed and turned into a gingerbread killer.
I hate this. I hate just talking about it.
It's a horrible movie.
Yeah, I'm watching The Witcher. I keep hearing people talking. I'm like, fine. Mm-hmm. I didn't play the games at all. Mm-hmm. I'll give it a shot. Watch the first episode. I can have time to watch the second one. I'm still making my way through it.
Never played the games.
Yeah.
So I don't really have interest in watching it. People say the games are really good, but
neither did I. And then I watched the first episode. And I'm like, they don't make references to the games.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody tried to explain to me what the storylines, how they line up or whatever. I'm like, you don't have to explain it to me. They'll do it in the show.
Yeah,
and they're explaining it in the show. And I'm like, you don't have to. Shut up. Just let me watch the show. Like, you understand it's 3 different times. I don't care. Let me watch it.
All right, can we go on one more tangent real quick?
Of course.
This makes me laugh because we're talking about video games. I bought my dad for Christmas. I bought him Doom. Not the new one that's coming because it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
The 2016 version.
Yes.
My dad is used to playing like God of War and stuff like where it's like over top your head and stuff. Kind of like the camera follows you. You don't really have to adjust camera.
Yeah.
He doesn't really play first-person shooters.
Yeah.
It's fun trying to watch him because he moves like a robot. He'll like, okay, I move forward. He'll go into like a wall. And then we'll turn the camera. Like, you can do both those at the same time. You don't have to do them separately.
Oh, God. Your dad playing the new God of War. Mm. I feel like he's like, yes, I'm also a father.
I think he thought it was pretty good, but not as good as the original ones. He likes the original like PlayStation 2 ones.
Yeah, those ones were more like hack and slash.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
one's more like this is a story.
Yeah, exactly. All about how my life got twisted upside down. And sit right there as I explain to you how I became the God of War. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, Derek.
Imagine Kratos as Will Smith.
Do you know who could beat Kratos? I think our local resident superhero could.
Florida man.
Yeah.
Himself.
Yes.
He could do it without even getting out of his beer chair.
His beer chair.
Everyone has a beer chair. It's a chair where you drink all your beers.
Oh gosh. So
you raise that back up.
I was doing because I could see you.
Oh, I need that to hide hide stuff behind.
Cool. I'm gonna lower
the light.
Yeah, it was bright.
All
so
right.
I went. A Florida thing happened to me yesterday.
Really? You have a Florida man story?
Not Florida man, just like.
But you're a man in Florida.
It was a thing bound to happen. Mm-hmm. It hadn't happened until yesterday. I went to dinner with my lovely girlfriend, and I saw for the first time a wild gator, and it scared me.
Really?
Yeah.
You've never seen one just waltzing around?
No, well, this one wasn't waltzing. It was in the water.
Yeah, it's just chilling.
I saw its head, and I went and got in the car and drove away.
You fucking wuss.
That body water is known to have gators in it,
mm-hmm.
but I wasn't ready.
My favorite was down where I used to live. There was the signs that were like, beware of gators in water. Yeah. You see people out there and they're like water skiing. Not water skiing, but like, what's it called? The little things.
Water ski.
No, those aren't water skis.
When you sit on it, looks like a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Water ski.
Oh, okay. Well, so water skiing. I thought those were the long ones. They were doing that and canoeing and shit. Like stuff that's really low, close to the water. Like if you're in a boat, it makes sense because you're above it. Canoes, you're like waist high with the water. It's like
technically, your butt is underneath the water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have canoes where they're clear, and there's a video of a guy who just I want to say he's in like Louisiana or something like that, and something bumped his boat. He looks through his canoe, there's a fucking alligator under him. He's like, I'm gonna keep paddling here until it gets away from it.
We're like, well, can't stop now.
Yeah. Once you're in, you're in. You've committed. You committed to anything that comes to attack you. You're being protected by a little boat that's about, a few inches thick?
Yeah.
And it could be flipped over fairly easily.
I saw one where someone was canoeing, they got into a tree, and they were covered in spiders. I'm like, you dumb idiot. Why'd you hit the tree, you stupid? You're in the water.
It's like, of all
how'd you
things,
hit a tree?
I would never want to go canoeing. I don't even like being on boats, let alone.
I hate water.
Honestly, I have an excuse. I'm black. We don't like water. We tend to stay away from it. The woods, the jungles.
I don't like the dark.
Yeah, the dark. Anything that makes a very suspicious loud noise.
I hate stairs.
I don't mind stairs. As long as they don't go up into the dark.
What are other quotes from Francis from Left 4 Dead?
Oh, fuck. He hates Canadians. I remember that was a thing.
Hate bikes.
No, he likes bikes. He's a biker.
Hate bicycles.
All right, so you ready to get into Florida Man?
Sure.
So if anyone hasn't remembered, or if you're new, we make a game show out of this now.
Yeah.
Where I find 4 real Florida Man stories.
Yes.
Or Florida person stories.
Yes.
And I make up 4 stories.
Let's rephrase that. You don't make them up.
Some of them are made up.
There's 4 other stories.
There's 4 other stories
aren't Florida person.
There you go. Because Bryce gets picky about that.
Because at first we started out, you did make them up. Then randomly you started throwing actual stories at me that just didn't happen to happen in Florida.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I ended up losing because
you can't figure out which one is the Floridiest.
Yeah.
Floridiest.
The Floriest.
I like Floriest.
Farthest from the ceiling.
Which one? Yeah.
We are the farthest. We're really south. I don't think we're the most south, are we? I think,
for what? America?
I think Texas is a little more south.
It's between us or Texas, and I want to say maybe it's Florida because Florida stretches out down.
Yeah. And
then you hit Cuba, and then you hit. If you keep going like in a straight line, you eventually hit Brazil, but that's a lot of water.
I think we have a couple islands we own that's a little bit farther.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about the ones that matter.
I think it's a part of Florida.
So if you're going with that, then Samoa, because we run Samoa.
Yeah,
because or we run part of Samoa.
Also Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
I'm not sure it's more. Anyways, Florida Man.
Technically,
talking about geography,
we got part of Cuba then, because that's where Guantanamo Bay is.
Yeah,
even though we don't own anything in Cuba, to my knowledge.
Technically, if we're talking all U.S. Army bases, we're some place in South America too.
And don't we have an Arctic somewhere or Antarctic base?
In reality, you can keep going south till you hit the north. So you can't. We have places in Canada too.
Keep going south till you hit the north.
It's a big circle, my dude.
No, it's not. It's flat. Don't you coming at me with your sphere Earth theories? We're flat. You fall off the side when you reach the bottom. Haven't you looked at a map, you idiot? This is fun. We should do this more often.
No, we never record podcasts ever.
All right. So, anyways,
yeah,
let's get down to the first round.
Let's get down to business.
I want to say the last time we were here, you failed.
Yeah, I was negative.
You hit negatives.
I was doing bad, guys.
All right. Woman destroys hospital reception desk for being slow.
No response. Go continue.
Man arrested after shooting himself in the leg of playing cowboy.
Not enough talent big enough for me.
Who's gonna arrest me? Me?
Ah!
I surrender.
If you're wondering, he's making a reference. Derek just made a reference to an old YouTube series I keep talking about, but never show him.
You're showing me it today.
Yeah, it's Pokemon Bridged, and there's one quote from it that's just Officer Jenny going, "Who's gonna arrest me? Me?" And I quote that all the time.
All right, so those are your 2.
Oh gosh, I hope it's the second one because that's so much funnier. But the first one seems more realistic because people get angry easily over nothing,
especially at the hospital.
Yeah, but okay. Do you have any more backstory on either one of them?
Which one do you want?
Honestly, any more information would help on any one of these.
I want you to pick one. I don't want to give one over the other.
I'm a cowboy, baby.
The cowboy? Well, that was a simple one. He shot himself in the leg. Went to the hospital. Apparently, they came to check because you have to investigate somebody getting shot.
Yeah.
They asked who shot him. He said someone else shot him, and they went, "No, the angle doesn't look right. There's no way someone else shot you." He goes, "Yeah, you're right. I shot myself, but I'm not supposed to have a gun because apparently he was on parole."
Ah,
that's that story. So he got in trouble for that because he wasn't supposed to have it in the first place.
Nice, good job, man.
But yeah, he's just a guy who's stupid shooting himself in the leg.
Yeah. Do you have any more information about the other one?
The other one? Oh, this one's honestly, I love both these because they're both hospitals.
Yeah.
That one's just pretty much a simple one. The lady apparently went in for an appointment.
Yeah.
It took too long. She freaked out and got in an argument with the reception lady who run. You know how you have to write your name in to check in and all that. Apparently, she claimed that it took 30 extra minutes. They got in an argument, got in a fight, and destroyed the reception because she jumped over the counter to get to the lady.
God. So, I'm far from the mic now.
Yes, you are.
Lean back and consider my options. Because I like my headcanon. This is the same story. That this woman was mad because her husband got shot in the leg. We waited for 30 minutes. He was my cowboy husband.
Bryce, would you be upset if I ever did that? I took 2 different points of a story just to fuck with you.
I'd be so mad. I would jump over this and break the reception of the table.
You would make a reception table just to destroy it.
Yes, I would build and then destroy. It's like that old like Cartoon Network live action show.
Oh, destroy, the fucking thing with Andrew WK or whatever his name is.
Destroy, build, destroy.
That was a weird show.
I think the guy shot himself. Final answer.
You are correct. Ooh. Somebody shot themselves. Yeah. Claimed somebody else shot them, and then it was just a weird fucking story.
Because it sounds like the guilt got to him. Like, I can't get out of this. Might as well just
admit to it. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm already in trouble. I don't want to get more trouble. Because I'm stupid. I'm not big enough for this town.
He tried to make himself shorter by shooting his legs off.
I can't fit in my car anymore. The slidey thing for the seat broke.
Not the slidey thing in the truck.
Yeah.
The one where it allows you to move this back seat forward and back.
Yeah.
That broke off in our truck. So it's just you better like sitting forward. You better like sitting upwards.
I'm like smooth criminaling in this truck.
All right, you ready?
I think I'm okay. I'm ready. I gotta zone myself out.
Children lock babysitter, parents, and the police out of home.
Okay.
Woman leaves children overnight in a bus to go and smoke.
First one's more funny than the second one. Second one's just sad. I hope the first one's true. It's not my final answer yet.
Okay, I was sitting here,
I'm just hoping. Hoping. Because I have faith. I have faith in humanity. And then I'm like, guys.
You know you're not supposed to have faith in anything anymore. I know,
especially not in Florida. Okay, so. Okay. The second one.
Mm-hmm.
How did the police find out about this?
They found her on the on her. I believe it was a boat. She went to a boat and started smoking, and they found her there. And then they realized that she apparently lived in a. You know how you see those videos where people soup up their cars and make them in the houses?
Yeah,
it was like that. So it wasn't like a small. Okay. It wasn't a small thing.
I was picturing like a public bus.
No.
So she owned a bus.
She owned a bus
that she
redesigned
into a house. Kinda.
Like those DIY home survival things,
like mini houses or whatever.
Exactly. But apparently it wasn't a real house. It was just a bus.
And she was like, you know what? I don't see my kids see me smoke. And she goes like, I'm gonna find a boat.
Yeah, she went and hung out with apparently her boyfriend, if I'm remembering correctly.
So she can't afford a house.
No.
But she's on a boat.
She's on a boat.
And it's going fast. And
no, to my knowledge, his boat was not moving on the water. It was apparently docked.
The first story, much funnier.
Yes,
it sounds like the picture of that child who locked themselves in the car was laughing as the cops couldn't get it. That's what it sounds like. And I like the way you phrased it, because I'm like, they locked everyone out except the cops, because no, they're gonna lock the cops out too.
No, I said and the police.
I know, like how you phrased like surprisingly enough, also they locked the cops out.
Oh, okay,
yeah. The cops have a universal lock, that universal key that can get all the locks. I'm gonna Both of these sound realistic.
Yes, they do.
The second one, because there's so much like really weird details. That I'm like, you can't make up that. You went to a boat.
Says you.
I know, but like, there's so many specific weird details. Do you have any information on the first one?
On the children?
Yeah.
Apparently, they locked their babysitter out when their parents went home. Well, went home. Went out for the dinner at night.
Yeah.
Babysitter couldn't get in, so they had to call the parents, who had to leave the restaurant. Parents couldn't get in because apparently they put stuff in front of the door. Jeez. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like they just locked it like, you're outside now.
Ha ha.
Obviously, the parents had kids. No, they apparently put stuff in front of their door. And then they called the police, who had to go and knock the door down.
God. I mean, it sounds like reverse Home Alone.
No, it doesn't. It sounds like exactly like Home Alone.
Except
because he keeps the people. Well, he tries to keep them out. They eventually get in.
They're not home alone. They're with all the other people, and everyone else is like, I'm your parents. I want to be home. And they're like, no, you will sleep on a bus now. It's reverse of the other story.
They went on the boat to go smoke. Yeah, exactly.
We made a boat out of cardboard.
You ever made a boat out of cardboard? You ever make any? Were you that creative kid, Bryce?
I had a swing set in my backyard back in Ohio that I made into like forts and stuff, and that's about it.
I was always one of those kids that I would get like a whole bunch of like big long blankets and like sheets and stuff like that, and turn them into like tents and forts and stuff with pillows.
Yeah.
I at one point had a tent bought for me. Like, they bought me a tent that I set up in my room. So I had my bed and then I had my tent.
The best blanket fort I ever made, I was in college.
Sounds
we all just stayed over at one person's place. We made a big blanket fort in the living room. Ordered pizza and played video games all night. It was awesome.
Like college kids.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm going to say, because of all the specific details, the second one is for...
Which was... I can't remember which one I said second.
She left her kids in a bus to go smoke on a boat.
You are correct, sir. Yeah, you should see pictures of... Honestly, it's one of those things where it's like...
Was it even good?
Yeah, it was a good-looking bus. She put work in.
And then it should... It's weird details to include in that, and then it's just a house.
No, it's not. It's not legally a house.
I know.
You can't leave people in a car. You technically aren't allowed. Well, you are to sleep in the car.
Yeah, because
it depends on where the car is, I guess.
Yeah, RV.
Yeah, but it's not an RV. It's a fucking bus. It's like one of those.
You can make a bus into an RV. Yeah, I've seen like a lot of like design stuff to do that.
Yeah, you can, but I don't think you can legally make it a RV. Like, there's no paperwork you can sign to say this is an RV now.
Hey man, the 70s were a thing. You could sleep in anything.
Technically. It literally, she converted like like one of those old school cheese, like half bus, like the small short cheese buses, into a thing, and it looked badass.
And then she smoked on a fucking boat and got arrested.
Yep.
So stupid.
You ready? For the next one, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, confidence is up, which means I'm going to lose.
Man crashes truck into Chuck E. Cheese.
God.
Man causes toy avalanche in store.
With his truck, did he crash into Chuck E. Cheese? See, the first guy, he just played Five Nights at Freddy's too many times.
He's like, I gotta kill those animatronics.
I save those kids.
You know they're getting rid of the animatronics in Chuck E. Cheese's?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they're gonna make it where instead of having like that, they have like the guys in the mascot costumes like they usually have, and there's just a really big like kids dance floor type of deal.
I guess.
So the animatronics they're slowly being moved out.
Well, animatronics are still being used. I mean, theme parks, but
no, I mean like in Chuck E. Cheese's.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to figure out
the good animatronics, not those weird, creepy things from the '90s where the eyes that would freak me out.
The eyes clicked.
Yeah, they click when they look around and they
look around. You can't see what I'm doing.
I can, and it was funny. But
I move my heads around in really weird ways, and I just blink really hard. Oh God. What toy store? He caused an avalanche.
It was not a toy store. It was the toy aisle.
Oh.
It was a Walmart.
Okay.
And you know how you worked at Walmart. You know how they have stuff on the very tall top parts of the shelves?
Yes.
He wanted one of those things from off the very tall top parts of the shelves. And
Okay.
he climbed it. And he busted the fucking shelves. And everything fell.
This man's an idiot. It's fun facts. I did work at a Walmart for a very short amount of time.
For a week.
But I remember something very important because my manager, not my manager of the store, but like the guy right above me, he was very, like, he got angry very easily. So he get mad when people didn't stock the shelves properly. Because one of the things that they do is that when you buy something at Walmart, it immediately orders
new stuff,
the same exact amount that you just bought of that object. Yeah, but even then, it doesn't send in the right amounts. Like, we have a space for 4 of one thing. They send you buy packages like 6. Like, why? I can't put these 2 anywhere. So they put them on the very top.
Yep.
So he described this to me. I'm like, look underneath it on the shelf. It's probably there.
He apparently claimed it was only on the top shelf.
This is like a bike.
All the bicycles in the world fall over.
It's like all like every children's movie ever is every Will Ferrell movie. It's Elf too.
They made an Elf too, you know. It's like animated though.
Gross. And why did he hit his truck against the Chuck E. Cheese?
He was backing up.
Oh, he just a really bad driver?
Yep.
Was it just against a wall and did it do much, or was it like through the glass?
It went through a wall.
Through a wall.
Into a bathroom.
Through a wall.
He crashed it through a wall.
Through a wall.
Through a wall.
Through a wall.
He backs up very fast.
That's blowing my mind right now. Because every building I ever see is made of concrete.
Yep, they're tough ass buildings.
What truck is this?
This is if I'm remembering correctly, the picture is just like a generic like pickup truck, which has like a flatbed. But it's one of those big ones that have like the 2 wheels on it. So it's a big truck.
So if he went through the wall.
He went through the wall.
I don't blame him. I blame him for hitting it. I don't blame him for going through the wall.
What do you blame the shoddy construction workers?
It's concrete. You shouldn't be able to go through a wall. These things are made down here to survive hurricanes. You can't survive a truck.
A hurricane comes by, just a Chuck E. Cheese flies away.
Was this one of the 3 pigs that made this building?
This is for my brothers.
Yeah, I made this building out of hay, so what? I'm gonna say the second one. I'm gonna say the guy who caused an avalanche was the Florida Man one because I personally believe that first one was from a movie.
Okay.
Am I right?
So wait, I just didn't hear anything you said. I agreed and did not.
My final answer is the one that caused an avalanche because the other one sounds like it's from a movie.
All right, so you were wrong, Bryce.
I hate the guy. Hate construction workers. I hate.
Apparently, this dude somehow backed his truck up. He didn't hit it forwards. This dude did it reverse. Crashed into the woman's bathroom. Well, I guess it'd be the girl's bathroom because it's Chuck E. Cheese, so children. I guess it's still the woman's bathroom because adults can use it too.
Yeah, yeah.
And he went through it. Apparently, there was no one in that bathroom. Everyone was okay.
This is like Harry Potter. There's a troll in the dungeon.
He tried to get away. They caught him. They asked him why he ran. And he went, because I don't have a license.
Nice.
They're like, so you're in a lot more trouble now.
Sick. Let's hope that's what the cops said. I don't have a license. Sick.
So yeah. So somebody destroyed a Chuck E. Cheese pretty much. And you want to hear something funny, Bryce? If I'm remembering correctly, because even though we skipped a week, this is actually from a while ago.
Yeah.
I want to say this is the one that's down on International Drive. So if we go down there, probably not anymore. I imagine they fixed it, hopefully, by now. But yeah, if we would have went down there, you would have saw a hole in the woman's restroom.
All the buildings here are made of so much concrete. Like heavy bricks.
He must have been going at least...
He must have floored it.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have a license. He probably doesn't know what driving is.
He's like SpongeBob. Just floor it.
Big toe. Big toe.
It busts out of his shoe and presses it. Mm-hmm. You ever tried driving with your big toe?
No, I usually wear shoes. I can't really use my only toe. I use all of them.
There's enough space because my shoe size, fun fact, is a 12 and a half. Mm-hmm. I have to custom get 12 and a half because nobody just makes 12 and a half. 12s. So I usually wear 12 or 13s because I just deal with it. Mm-hmm. So when I wear 13s, there's a little more space in the toes. Mm-hmm. So I'm able to move my toes around a little bit, and I'm able to just push. I tried that once. I just pushed with my big toe down and drove with it. Mm-hmm. It's very tiring.
I'm about to say, I imagine you're using You're using one specific toe for no reason when you use everything.
If you're wondering, yes, it makes you go a lot slower.
I imagine. You already drive slow as it is.
Not according to my progressive thing. It beeps all the time.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you're a sucker. You got tricked into that. You'll hate it. When that thing's done in a month or whatever, your rates are going to go up.
See, for me, it's not beeping when because any speed, because I don't really speed, like you said. It's like it beeps when you stop too fast.
Exactly.
I'm like, I started stopping a half mile ago.
Yeah, because it doesn't judge how fast you're driving. It judges how abrasive the stop is. So it wants you to slow into stops. Not the line's there.
I was in the car and I'm like, I parked the car and I turned the person in the car. I'm like, I didn't hear the beep one time. They're like, I heard it 3 times. I'm like, what?
Yeah, dude, you'll learn to hate that thing. My family did that. They're like, the rates will go down. That shit went down. I mean, that as soon as they pulled that thing out, they're like, we have to they tried to double our shit almost. We're like, nah, we're gonna go with a different insurance that doesn't do this stupid idea.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. And it's only been a couple days.
Just pull it out.
I'm tempted.
But yeah, I thought of the Avalanche thing. So I was in the store the other day and I saw. I'm short.
Yeah,
I'm a short person.
Yes.
So if there's stuff on any top shelf, let alone even in food, if it's in the frozen area, and I can't get it, I have to step into the freezer. Yeah. I've stepped into the freezer before to where the point where the door shut behind me. Yeah, I've done that before. So I was just sitting there, I'm like, somebody's been up here one day, just knocked the whole fucking shelf down and threw everything everywhere.
You have to admit, when you've ever been in a store like that or a library, and you're like, I can make these shelves domino.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So I think I already said this on the podcast, but it's still one of my dreams is to just push
knock something over.
Is I do the domino thing. The domino
things. Those things.
That's a reference to a play.
Really?
Me saying, "Hey, it did the domino thing. It's totally us."
I have no idea what play you're talking about. Really? Is it an actual play or is it one of those student things you're always trying to get me to watch?
It wasn't a student thing.
Like that thing about Jafar being the good guy.
That wasn't a student thing.
Was it not?
I thought that was off Broadway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was made by similar people that made that one.
Okay.
They made one. It's maybe an hour and a half. That was just a Scooby Doo based one. It was hilarious. Anyways, I failed that one.
You did.
I'm the worst. You want to go on the last one?
The last one.
Yeah.
Man falls asleep under tree. Is attacked by bees.
You know what? He's in nature. He deserves it. Continue. Man
thrown from balcony. Hijacks car. Starts police chase.
Is this GTA? Is this GTA? Is Florida just the GTA of the United States?
Yeah, actually, isn't one of the GTA games based off of Florida?
Yeah, it's Vice City's Miami.
It's Miami, but it's like 80s Miami because they still have the cocaine.
Yeah, whenever I picture that game, all I picture is because there's a code you can get to get flying cars and you're gliding your car around.
Every time I think of it, I always see people without eyes because the graphics were so bad that their eyes really aren't there. They're like squiggles.
The main character's just like eyebrows.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay.
And he didn't talk.
He didn't talk. Even when they brought him back in one of the other games, he didn't talk. Somebody talked for him.
Yes.
I want to say it was one of the lady characters. This is my boyfriend. He's gonna kick your ass, and it's just him. It's like, oh, hey, I haven't played you in forever.
Yeah, I like the canon that he just couldn't talk.
Yeah, he just never.
They just didn't because you try to. For those games, you're like, he's a blank slate, so he can be wherever you want him to be. But he just
never talked.
Yeah.
I love the GTA universe timeline.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, there's 3 different timelines. I don't know if you ever watched any of those videos on it.
No.
There's the 2D timeline for the original games.
Yeah.
There's the there's a 3D universe timeline, which is like the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era games, like that Vice City and all that. Then there's the HD universe, which is the new ones.
Yeah.
There's only, I think, like 1 or 2 characters that goes through all 3 of them. But because they're different universes, they're like canons don't connect, but they do connect, but they don't. It's like one of those things that's like, just make up your mind. Do they all go together or not? It's
How
like the
much
DC
destruction
universe.
is in one universe?
Exactly. I want to know who's doing what.
All
Okay.
right. So, we have...
Sorry about that.
So we have the GTA guy who jumped off a balcony, stole a car, and went on a police chase.
Let it be known it says thrown.
Thrown.
He was thrown.
Thrown.
He was thrown off.
That is a different verb. It's a verb. Different verb than jump is thrown.
Yeah, he was thrown.
Wasn't his choice.
Nope.
Oh God. Based on all this, that second one just threw me through. What was the first one again?
The first one was the much less exciting.
Yeah. The
man falls asleep under a tree and is attacked by bees.
See, the bees are looking for the apple that's falling on his head so he can discover gravity.
Yeah, his name's Newton, actually. It says that.
There's Newton. The second one, much more interesting, much more fun. Mm-hmm. The first one is just like, I had to go to the hospital because they got bees on me. Well, how'd you get the bees? Fell asleep under a tree. You're like, what are you, a nursery rhyme guy? What?
Let it be known that guy, he fell asleep under the tree.
Yeah.
He didn't wake up for a while. He got stung a lot by bees.
Did he not wake up with the first sting?
No.
There's an issue right
there.
Yeah,
exactly.
He doesn't have any feeling in his bones.
It was less of fell asleep and more of passed out.
Was this man intoxicated?
Yep.
That is I'm coming.
And the bees were apparently his designated driver, and they drove his ass all the way to the hospital.
He's like, this guy needs help.
Let's help him.
Stab.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go with, because I like my life to be interesting, the second one has been the true one.
Which is?
The GTA dude.
You are correct.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of anything to put with that story. I'm like, fuck it. Man falls asleep with bees. I was like, the only way I could make this stupid is if I put woman thrown off balcony. Let it be known, this full story.
Yeah.
This man was naked the whole time this happened. A naked man got thrown.
In Florida?
In Florida.
Shocking.
He got thrown off a balcony.
Yeah.
Realized, I need to run. What's the fastest way to run? Oh, there's a car. There's a person in a car. I can use that car. Stole a fucking car. And then the police were like, you can't do that.
Wait a second.
Yeah, exactly. And chased his ass.
You have to do that while clothed. Oh, God.
So you're most definitely in the positives.
Yeah.
It's such a weird story. It's like, how does somebody get thrown off a balcony? Because it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't explain who did it or why they threw him.
It sounds like, based on context, my mind immediately goes to, oh, a guy comes home from work, you're sleeping with my wife, and he throws him out of his house by the balcony.
But off the balcony?
Yeah. He's on the second floor. I'm not going to walk him down the stairs.
I'm not that polite.
I'm not like the Prince of Bel-Air. Throw him out the front door. No, he's going wherever he is. God, that's... Welcome to Florida, guys.
Welcome to Florida, everybody.
Where we have
naked people getting tossed off of balconies.
We have people hitting Chuck E. Cheese with their truck so hard it destroys the wall.
The weird part is, going back to that Chuck E. Cheese story,
yeah,
because the man didn't have a license.
Yeah.
So that's probably not his truck.
Correct. He's probably like...
Didn't say anything about it not being his truck in the story.
My mom's truck. So let me do it. Get it to drive to Chuck E. Cheese.
He's like that one little, like that one black kid from the internet videos. I love to do hood rat things.
Hood rat things with my friends.
Yeah, exactly.
I have friends now still make references to that.
Do you know what happened to that kid?
No.
he tried to turn his life around and like go to college and shit like that,
Yeah.
and then he ended up getting like in fights and beating people up and stuff. And he got in a whole bunch of other fucking trouble.
Doing hood rat stuff.
Still doing hood rat shit.
Oh God.
But but you can go because there's like a history behind the memes or something like that on YouTube where they do videos like that, and they have news reports where they go, all the hood rat kids graduating high school, and they go and they show like video of him getting his like diploma. It's like, oh, isn't that nice? And then cuts an extra. The hood rat kid that we thought was gonna be doing great things in the future has been arrested. It's like, oh, that didn't take very long.
Why are you phrasing like that?
Well, that's what he said. He's the hood rat kid guy.
I know, but it's like, what, like, news guy, why are you phrasing it like that? That's just mean. He's already down on his luck. All right.
Sorry. About that.
Before we get into the final one, let's just wrap a couple things up. Thank you everyone for watching. First off, listening. Sorry, you can really watch a podcast.
You can watch the little line scoot from 000 all the way to wherever time this is.
We're already at 50. We're already an hour in.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So thank you for listening to this podcast. Shout out to Young Walnut for letting us use his music for our intro and outro. You can find him on YouTube and SoundCloud. Also, if you want, you can follow us on Twitter at DYHAT Podcast. It's DYHAT Podcast. We tweet about the show when it comes out. We also tweet at Zac Efron whenever I can. You can also email us at diehatpodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us or email us different stories you want us to cover, and maybe you'll have the nice shout out in one of the episodes when we cover it. You look like you want to say something, Derek.
Speaking about Zac Efron,
yes.
During our break, we missed it. Apparently, he got like a bacteria or something like that, filming like a TV show.
Yeah.
So, but apparently he's fine. There was a
thing. You got me very worried.
There's things on like Twitter like, "Don't worry, all the Zac Efron's fans. He's doing great." I read that story like 20 minutes later. My mom came in. Are y'all gonna talk about Zac Efron with this scenario? And I'm like, it's like eventually, I guess.
Don't worry, guys. Zac Efron is fine.
He's fine. I started sitting there. I'm like, what happens? What do we do if something happens to Zac Efron?
We stop the podcast.
We either have to stop or find a replacement. I vote Justin Timberlake, but you know,
he's a good option.
Yeah,
but can he do as much as Zac Efron?
No, he can't. But he's the best we got. He's diet Zac Efron.
Can he jump on near the water, grab some sand, toss it out of his hands, play basketball? Okay.
Jesus.
Anything else to say before I do the final story?
No, we can do final stories. I just thought that was funny.
Hey, Derek, did you hear about this? Have you heard about the 4th century sling bullets?
No.
So, there were some historians found some sling bullets from the 4th century.
What the fuck's a sling bullet?
Do you know what a sling is?
Yeah.
So it's a thing you put in the sling to throw.
So a fucking rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
But these rocks had something inscribed in them. And after like decoding it, they it read, "Take that."